Sri Lanka, a land blessed with abundance of water. This is the Samudra in Polonnaruwa, one of the largest reservoirs built in the 12th century by King Parakram Bahu to ensure food security for future generations. Radical changes in the weather patterns in recent years due to climate change has affected many parts of Sri Lanka. Extended drought periods are experienced almost every year since the year 2010. It is sad to see Samudra dried of all its water due to severe drought in the year 2011 and cows grazing in the middle of the lake. In the drought-prone areas in Anuradhapura, Polonnaruwa, Mannar and Kurunegala, women and girls travel on average 1,500 meters and back to bring potable water carrying heavy pots at a time of 2 to 3 hours wasted daily. The muddy water from the lakes is not safe to drink. This is a common sight in many drought-prone areas. Especially in certain villages in Anuradhapura and Polonnaruwa areas, there is a large number of people affected with chronic kidney disease as a result of drinking water contaminated with agrochemicals. This is a community group meeting in Anuradhapura. Here, a woman and young girl explained the experience how they manage their domestic water needs for washing in the morning, especially the girl before leaving to school.
எனது பெயர் டிவி புஷ்பராசா. நான் வவுனியா புதுக்குள மகாவித்தியாலயத்தில் கல்வி பயிலுகின்றேன். நான் வசிக்கும் பிரதேசம் பர்னாடல் ஓமந்தை வவுனியா. இங்கிருந்து அந்த பிரதேசத்திற்கு சென்று தான் கல்வி பயிலுகின்றேன். நான் 2014 ஓயல் கல்வி பயிலுகின்றேன். நமக்கு கிணறுகள் கட்டி தந்ததனால் பல வசதிகள் இருக்கின்றன. பல கஷ்டங்களையும் நீக்கக்கூடியதாக இருக்கின்றது. இதேபோன்ற ஏனைய சிறார்களும் தமது கல்வியை மேம்படுத்தக்கூடிய வகையில் பயனளிக்கின்றன. எனது லட்சியமாக வருங்காலத்தில் ஆசிரியர் தொழில் புரிய வேண்டும் என எண்ணுகின்றேன். அதேபோல் மெட்டிய மாணவர்களின் இலட்சியங்களை நிறைவேற்றக்கூடிய வகையில் பல தாபனங்கள் உதவி செய்கின்றன. அதை நாம் மேலும் வளர்ச்சியடைய இறைவனை பிரார்த்திக்கின்றோம்.
Water from mountain springs was allowed to collect into a tank in high elevation, and settlers below were supplied through a pipeline for drinking and other household purposes of housing lines in the upcountry plantation estates during the time of British rule in Sri Lanka nearly 100 years ago. This particular water conveyor system, as seen here, had a 2-inch metal pipe which supplied water to the open collection tank. Bird droppings, dirt and corrosion from old pipeline get mixed with the water before it goes down to the distribution tanks below. This water is not safe to drink. People also collect water from canals and streams which are contaminated with agrochemicals and pesticides. People often get sick after drinking this water. The Kandy hospital reported many patients arriving every day with waterborne diseases. In the islands of Mathale and Kites in the Jaffna district, the water in the wells is not drinkable due to salinity. Water is supplied through privately owned bowsers, which the poor people had to pay 500 rupees for 200 litres that lasted about 3 days, much less than required by a family. A family had to spend about 5,000 rupees per month to obtain water. The mechanism of drinking water delivery from bowsers and people waiting by the roadsides with various vessels. Even old people and children are waiting to collect water from the bowser. Caritas provided 200 households in Jaffna with water containers to collect and keep water for drinking and cooking purposes. The difficulties experienced by the fishing community in the village of Kurunegala, Mannar, and the anxiety among the family members due to lack of water and no regular supply of water for their domestic needs is been explained.
எனது பெயர் தர்ஷினி சுரேஷ். நான் குருவி கிராமத்தில் வசித்து வருகின்றேன். இந்த கிராமத்தில் 75 குடும்பங்களுக்கு மேற்பட்ட குடும்பங்கள் வாழ்ந்து வருகின்றோம். அதன் அடிப்படையில் எங்களுக்கு குடிநீர் குறைவாக மிகவும் தட்டுப்பாடாக இருந்தது. இருந்த போதிலும் எங்களுக்கு CAFOD வாழ்வதத்தின் மூலம் எங்களுக்கு நிறைய நன்மைகள் கிடைத்திருக்கிறது. அதே போன்று நாங்கள் 2013ஆம் ஆண்டுக்கு முதலே நாங்கள் நிறைய குடிநீர் சம்பந்தமாக நாங்கள் கஷ்டப்பட்டிருக்கிறோம். அப்போ அந்த கஷ்டத்தின் மத்தியிலே நாங்கள் இந்த நிறுவனத்துக்கு மிகவும் நன்றி சொல்கின்றோம்.
The process. Taking these hardships faced by the people into consideration, a project proposal was developed by Caritas Sri Lanka with the assistance and the guidance of CAFOD England. These are some of the photos of the visits by CAFOD representatives to the affected areas. It is evident of the long process taken to develop the project proposal after meetings with community members at different locations, discussions with Caritas diocesan directors and staff, and also at Caritas National Centre. Preparing the cost estimates with several budget revisits to ensure that almost all the needs are accommodated and proper technical supervision and monitoring mechanisms are in place.
First of all, I would like to say something about how to begin the project. So when we do the water supply project, we need to get the technical aspect. And Caritas, first of all, they came us and they discussed about this project and they asked about all the technical aspects of the project. I believe that this project is very went to success because of that. Because they follow whatever we say, whatever the technical things, what we need to follow, so like that.
After mobilizing the beneficiaries into groups, active community participation contributing their time and labor for transportation of material, digging, serving tea and refreshments to the masons during construction of wells is seen. The project was aimed at relieving the women from the burden of travelling long distances to fetch water. In some areas, there were security risks on the way in the very lonely stretches, including attacks by wild animals and snake bites. It was mostly the women who took leadership and the responsibility to maintain the water installations. The participation of men seemed very low. As a solution to this situation, CAFOD proposed to introduce a gender mainstreaming training program. With the technical support and guidance of CAFOD, Caritas Sri Lanka conducted a series of trainings on gender in addition to the awareness programs on health and sanitation, water resource management practices. How the beneficiaries utilize their knowledge is explained by various beneficiary group members.
Mama Dorothy Xavier, Caritas City Mahanaraythni. විශේෂයෙන් මේ මම ඉන්නේ දැන් මහවැල ශ්‍රේෂ්ඨයේ මෙහි තිබුණු ප්‍රධානම ප්‍රශ්නයක් තමයි ජල ගැටලුව. මේ ජල ගැටලුවට විශේෂයෙන් අපි විසඳුමක් ලෙස මේ ජල කළමනාකරණ ව්‍යාපෘතිය මේට හඳුන්වලා දුන්නා. එහිදී අපි විශේෂයෙන් ස්ත්‍රී පුරුෂ සමාජ භාවය නැමැති කාචේ මේ ජනතාවගේ අපි ගැටලුව විශේෂයෙන් බැලුවා. ඒ නිසා මුන් ඉතාමත් සන්තෝෂයෙන් උන්ගේ ගෘහ ජීවිතය කළමනාකරණය කරගනිමින් ජීවත් වෙන බව සඳහන් කරන්න ඕනේ. විශේෂයෙන් ඔවුන් සමගම මාත් ගොඩක් සන්තෝෂ වෙනවා.
නම ජේ එලිසබෙත් පල්ලේ වත්තේ වාරිපොළ කටුදෙනිය. ඇත්තටම අපි මීට කලින් අවුරුදු 30කට කලින් අපි මේ වතුර නැතුව හරි ගොඩක් දුක් විඳලා දැන් අපිට සෙටික් ආයතනයට සම්බන්ධ වෙලා අපිව දැනුවත් කරලා අපිට සෙටික් ආයතනෙන් වතුර ලබා දීලා තියෙනවා.
The diocesan directors and staff work to supervise and monitor the progress of the ongoing construction of wells, water conveyors and rainwater harvesting tanks. Reverend Father Paris Jaffna, Diocesan Director of Caritas Anuradhapura, explains his experience in implementing this project.
Anuradhapura දිස්ත්‍රික්කයේ වැඩිම වකුගඩු රෝගීන් සංඛ්‍යාවක් වාර්තා වී තිබෙනවා රඹෑව ප්‍රාදේශීය ලේකම් කොට්ටාශයේ. ඒ ප්‍රාදේශීය ලේකම් කොට්ටාශයේනොත් වහමෝග්ගලෑව කියන ඒ පුංචි ගම්මානයේ තමයි අපි මේ ව්‍යාපෘතිය සඳහා තෝරාගත්තේ. පළමුණු පියවරක් හැටියට මේ අයට පානීය ජලය ලබා දීම සඳහා පානීය ලිඟක් ඒ ග්‍රාමයේ ජනතාවගේ සහයෝගයත් ඇතුව CAFOD ආයතනයේ සහයෝගයත් ඇතුව ජාතික ආයතනයේත් අපිට ලැබුණු ඒ උපදෙසුත් අනුව එහි පළවෙනි පියවර හැටියට පානීය ලිඳ අපි ඉදි කරනු ලැබුවා.
When the diocesan coordinators went to meet government officials, some community members, both female and male, joined to have consultations on matters related to water, sanitation and health. The community involvement, advocacy and lobbying to obtain the approvals and support of local government authorities is quite evident here.
அரிஹலா வசீகரன் நான் பாலைப்பன் மாவட்ட WRDS தலைவியாக இருக்கிறேன். ரெண்டா நாங்கள் வந்து இப்போ என்ன 20 ஆண்டுகளுக்கு மேலே யுத்தத்தால் பாதிக்கப்பட்டு மீண்டும் எமது கிராமத்துக்கு மீள் குடியேறின நேரம் எங்களுக்கு வந்து தண்ணியால் மிகவும் கஷ்டப்பட்டு கொண்டிருந்தோம். அந்த டைம் நாங்கள் போய் எங்களோட வாழ்வதத்தில் போய் கதைச்ச நேரம் எங்களுக்கு CAFOD நிறுவனத்தால் இப்படி எங்களுக்கு குடி தண்ணி கிணறு எங்கள் கிராமத்துக்குன்னு சொல்லி ஒரு 5 கிணறு எங்களுக்கு தரப்பட்டது. அதை வந்து எங்கள் கிராமத்தில் வந்து 5 கிராமங்கள் இருக்குது.
Representatives of the self-help groups who benefit from the constructed water sources were formed into 3 committees which link with the local government agencies, namely Development Committee, Maintenance Committee and Environment Committee. Regular monitoring visits were undertaken by Caritas staff and consultants, making use of the opportunity to discuss with the people. The result: the completed wells in Anuradhapura, Kurunegala, Mannar, Kandy and Jaffna. The ceremonies held to declare open the water sources, participation of religious, community leaders and local government authorities, and how the beneficiaries express their joy of having safe drinking water available to them now.
Kurunegala districtයේ පොල්පිටිගම ප්‍රාදේශීය ලේකම් කොට්ටාසේ 355 අමනුකොලේ ග්‍රාම නිලධාරි වශයෙන් මේ ග්‍රාම නිලධාරි නන්දන රත්නකොඩි බණ්ඩාර. ඇත්තටම මේ ජනසත ආයතනය හරහා මේ ව්‍යාපෘතිය හඳුනා ගැනීමේ සිට මේ දක්වා අපි මේකට සම්බන්ධ වෙලා කටයුතු කළා. ඇත්තටම මගේ කාර්යාලයත් මේ ආබදව පිහිටලා තියෙන්නේ. අපිට එම කාර්යාලයට සහ මේ අවටායට ගත්තාම ජල ප්‍රශ්නය මූලිකව තිබුණු ගැටලුවක්. ඇත්තටම සනීප ආරක්ෂක පහසුකම් වලටවත් ළඟ වතුර ටිකක් තිබුණේ නැහැ. ඒ නිසා මේ අවට පවුල් 25ක් 30කට ඒ වගේම අපේ කාර්යාලයට හොඳ අවස්ථාවක් ලැබුණා මේ ජල පහසුව සපයා ගැනීමට මේ ව්‍යාපෘතිය ක්‍රියාත්මක කිරීම තුලින්.
තෙරුවන් සරණයි. මම කුරුණෑගල පොල්පිටිගම අමුණුකොලේ බෝධිමල විහාරස්ථානයේ වැඩ වාසය කරන හම්දුන් වහන්සේ Caritas සංවිධාන ජාලය විසින් අපේ ගමට ඊ타මාත්ම අඩුපාඩුවක් වෙලා තිබිච්ච ඒ පානීය ජලය අවශ්‍යතාවය සඳහා අවශ්‍ය කරන ලිඳක් සාදා දීලා තියෙනවා. මේ නිසා අපේ ගමට ඉතාමත්ම දුෂ්කරතාවයක් තිබිච්ච ජල ප්‍රශ්නය විසඳ ගන්න අපිට අවස්ථාව සැලසීලා තියෙනවා.
The replaced or renovated water conveyors are seen here from Kandy, Mathale and Nuwara Eliya, which benefit especially the plantation communities. They now receive fresh water from the mountain springs free of agrochemicals and other contaminants. As a solution to the long dry spells in Jaffna, the people now benefit from the constructed rainwater harvesting tanks for drinking and cooking purposes. Water is collected during the rainy season. The tanks fitted with filters help the families to manage with the available water for about 5 to 6 months during the drought period. Significant achievements, added value and support from other sources. In Jaffna diocese, with the given funds, they also managed to repair 13 abandoned wells damaged during the war with the approval from CAFOD. Some of the beneficiaries of the repaired wells are war widows. In this particular case, special consideration was given to this family, also burdened with a child with special needs. These are achievements beyond the target. Among the significant achievements and added value to this project is seen in Anuradhapura, with additional support by the Deutsche Bank, which has provided a water tower, a water pump, an overhead tank, and the supply pipelines to the houses. The Pradesh Sabha has assisted with equipment for digging the trenches to lay the pipelines. With the availability of water at close proximity as a result of this project, women and girls save time, and the time saved is used for productive activities such as developing home gardens and girls using time for studies.
අපි ගිහිල්ලා ඇවිල්ලා ඉතින් රෙදි ඔක්කොම සතියක රෙදි තියෙනවා එකතු වෙලා ඒක ඔක්කොම හොදගෙන නාලා හැමදේම කරගෙන උන්ට 12 එක වෙනවා ගෙදරට එනකොට. ඒ කාලේ ඉතින් අපිට දැන් ඉතුරු වෙලා තියෙනවා. ඒ කාලය තුල අපි දැන් මේ අපේට ඕන දෙයක් අපේට දියුණුවට යම් දෙයක් අපි කරගන්නවා.
Lessons learned and acknowledgements. And elderly community leaders talking about the results and convincing situation. A case of Jansirigama water system in Polonnaruwa district.
විශේෂයෙන්ම මේ ප්‍රදේශයට ඇති වූ දුක්ඛතාවයක් තමයි ජලහිගේ. ඒ ජලහිගේට මූලික සාධකය වන්නේ මොකක්ද කියන එක අපේ ජනතාවට දන්නවා. වැවෙන් වතුර බිව්වා මේක ඉහත වෙනම ගම්මාන වලට ගිහිල්ලා වතුර ගෙනවා. නමුත් පසුගිය නියඟයට සාපේක්ෂව උතුරුමැද පළාතේ කරීටාස් ආයතනයේ සම්බන්ධ වෙලා අපේ ගමේ බිහි කරවා වූ මේ ප්‍රජාමූල සංවිධානයේට පින් සිද්ධ වෙන්නට CAFOD ආයතනයේ සහ ඩොයිච් බැංක් ආධාරයට අපිට විශාල ජල ව්‍යාපෘතියක් ලැබුණා. මේ ජල ව්‍යාපෘතිය පමණක් නොව අපිට ලැබුණේ දැනුම අවබෝධය ඉතුරු කිරීමේ ශක්තිය සෞඛ්‍ය සම්පන්න මිනිස් පරපුරක් ගොඩනැගීමට අපට මෙම ආයතනය තුලින් ලැබුණ ගැන අපි ස්තුතිවන්ත වෙනවා. විශේෂයෙන්
Monitoring support from CAFOD representatives. An interview with Mannar director Father Jaybala.
Implementation of constructing 24 open duct wells in our diocese of Mannar, which consist of two civil districts, that is Mannar and Vavuniya. We are very happy that the SEDEC, our national center, as well as the CAFOD, who have contributed a lot in the aspect of monitoring and coordination from time to time, which helped us a lot when we found some difficulties to go ahead with our implementation. Of course, they stood by us and guided us very prudently so that we were able to.
An acknowledgement by the National Director, Father George Sigamani.
We initiated this program, especially the water resource management and women's empowerment, about 3 years back. That was in 2013, and until 2015 that we were just carrying out this program. What I want to say is here that when we just initiated this program, we clearly identified some of the areas the people are having quite a tough time with regard to water management. And the partners, especially CAFOD, gave us enough support to identify these people and also to, like, along with the people to prepare this program and to design this program. So by that, the program became not Caritas Sri Lanka or Caritas CAFOD, and it became people's program. So that's the greatest the achievement I felt that we had it. So in the same time, this also started to give more kind of a self-confidence to the people, because, like, especially for the women who became the victims of all these problems in the villages, like, in a way that they were able to, like, get relief by this project, especially that when we started, like, building, like, many ponds and providing water, and by that they started, like, getting really benefited. And in the same time, like, what I saw here, how the people's participation in the entire process, and people own this entire thing, that gave that more kind of clarity and more transparency into the entire thing. And by that, like, after completing this 2 years of doing all our project, still that we are in contact with the people, and people are just, like, in a way just carrying out whatever the instruction we gave them, especially, like, how to continue to maintain the wells and also all the projects what we just implemented there. And even, like, if there are any cost is just involved there, how that they should be able to, like, find some funds from the communities to do all that things. Especially, like, just I understood that every 6 months that they had to do water testing, and even the community is ready to spend for that. I also should mention that CAFOD's the contribution towards this project is something tremendous, because without them we would have not completed this one, especially the technical support and the necessary advice time to time, and their field visits and monitoring, and by all that they became a partner who journeyed with us for the last 3 years. I thank all my staff members and all the beneficiaries and all who are part of this program, who made a real sacrifice to make this a real success. Thank you.